Pocket money. Dad wanted a meeting. I have a good idea, he said. Chip groaned. I don't like the sound of this, he said. Dad had a big piece of paper. I don't like the look of it either, said Beef. It's no fun on holiday, went on Dad, if Mom and I do all the work. That's true, said Mom. There are still lots of jobs to be done. This is where my idea comes in, said Dad. This is the pocket money chart. Beef, Chip, and Kippa look at the chart. It had their names in it next to a list of jobs. The idea is that everyone has to help, said Dad. It's brilliant. But why is that called a pocket money chart? Asked Kippa. Good question, Kippa. Dad tapped the chart. If you do the jobs without a fuss, he said, you get extra pocket money. Mom liked the idea. You need extra pocket money on holiday, she said. I suppose so, said Beef. So Beef washed up the key and Kippa dried. Chip took Fluffy for a walk. Dad blew up the beds with a pump. I like the idea of this pocket money chart, said Mom. I don't, said Kippa. The next day, they went to the beach. It was cold and windy, so nobody wanted to sit in the sand. Mom and Kippa played with Fluffy. He chased the ball into the sea. Beef, Chip, and Dad went to look for shells. Beef looked along the beach for shells. She picked up a strange-looking rock. Look at this, she called. It's a rock with a spiral pattern in it. She showed it to Chip. It looks like a shell made of rock, he said. You found a fossil, said Dad. Once it was a shellfish. Now it has turned into a rock. They showed it to Mom. It's millions of years ago, she said. Millions of years? Said Beef. That's amazing. They all began to look for fossils. Chip found a broken one. Beef liked looking for fossils. She wanted to find a really good one. It's time for supper, said Mom. Come on. Let's go back to the campsite. On the way back, they stopped up at the shop. Beef, Chip, and Kippa had time to look around. The shop sold all kinds of things. It sold shells and beach toys. Kippa wanted to buy a boat. I haven't got enough pocket money, he said. Beef saw some fossils for sale. This one is amazing, she said, but it's very expensive. Well, it is millions of years old, said Chip. I'll need the extra pocket money to afford this, said Beef. Back at the camp, Beef had an idea. I'll do everyone's jobs, she thought. I can get all the extra pocket money. She told Chip she would wash and dry the dishes. Good, said Chip. I hate drying up. Kippa had to take Fluffy for a walk around the field. He had to keep Fluffy on a lead. I'll take him if you like, Beef said to Kippa. Kippa was pleased. That's good. I hate that job, he said. Dad saw Beef taking Fluffy for his walk. What's she up to? He wondered. When Beef came back, he asked her why she was doing everyone's jobs. Beef went red. I want to earn all the extra pocket money, he said. She said. I'm sorry, Beef, said Dad. I'm afraid you can't. You all have to do the jobs, not just for you. But Chip and Kipper don't mind, said Beef. That's not the point, said Dad. The idea is that we share the jobs, but I work hard, said Beef. Beef was still upset when they went to the beach the next day. It's just not fair, she said. I did extra jobs, but I still won't get any more money. Come on, Beef, called Dad. It's just a lovely day to play in the sea. Beef, Chip, and Kippa played in the sea. They had a little plastic dinghy, and they took turns to sit in it. It's my turn, called Beef. No, I'm not getting out, said Kippa. Then we will tip you out, laughed Chip. They all felt cold after they had been in the sea. Dad took them for a walk along the beach. Mom stayed behind. Beef began to look for fossils. If I can't buy one, maybe I can find a really good one, she thought. They came to a little rocky cove. Some people were in the cove. A camera team was doing a fashion shoot. I bet the girl is a model, said she. They're taking photos for a magazine. The girl smiled at them. I'd hate to be a model, said Beef. All you do is stand around for ages. Just look at those cameras, said she. Come on, said Kippa. We are looking for fossils, remember? They walked a long way, but they didn't find any good fossils. It was time for lunch, so they went back to find Mom. We saw those people taking photographs, said Beef. After lunch, Beef and Chip went with Mom to the little rocky cove. The tide was coming in again, and the cove was filling with water. Beef pointed to something on a rock. It was a camera. Ooh. The photographers must have left it behind, she said. It will soon be underwater, said Mom. You could swim across and get it, said Chip. But I'm not a very good swimmer, said Mom. I might drop it. Beef had an idea. The dinghy has a long roof. I could paddle across quite safely, she said. Mom thought about this. Well, go and see what Dad thinks, she said. But hurry up, said Chip, or it will be too late. Beef ran to ask Dad. When he saw the camera, he agreed to let Beef rescue it in the dinghy. Just be careful, Beef, called Mom. It's all right, said Beef. But look at the camera. It's going to be underwater any second. Beef got the camera just in time. She put it in a plastic bag and Dad pulled the dinghy safely back. Hooray, said Keeper. The camera was safe. Beef to the rescue, laughed Beef. At that moment, the photographer ran up. Have you seen a camera? She gasped. I left one behind in the cove. Beef held up the plastic bag. Here it is. Here it is, she said. I've just rescued it in the dinghy. The photographer was pleased. Cameras like this are expensive, she said. I'm so glad to get it back. She took a photograph of everyone to say thank you. Will we be in the magazine? asked Keeper. Then the photographer wanted to give Beef some money. It's a reward for saving my camera, she said. Beef said she couldn't take the money. I'm just pleased you got your camera back safely, she said. Keeper was cross with Beef. Why didn't you take that money? He asked. I would have. Chip looked thoughtful. I'm not sure what I would have done, he said. Dad smiled at Beef. I'm very proud of you, Beef, he said. I think you were right not to take the money, agreed Mom. If you do someone a good turn, you should not expect to get a reward. Yeah. The next day, Dad gave Beef, Chip, and Kippa some extra pocket money. May we do what we like with it? asked Chip. Of course you can, said Dad. Then I'll give it to Beef, said Kippa. So Beef bought the puzzle she wanted so badly. The end. Dear siblings, the next story is about Christmas adventure. Let's Mr. Ho, Santa Claus. It was Christmas Eve. The children were excited, but Mom was hot and Dad was cross. Christmas is hard work, said Dad. Dad put up some decorations. He wanted the children to help, but they didn't want to. They were watching television. Oh dear. Dad turned off the television. Oh, said Kippa. We were watching a good program. It's time to help, said Dad. Just then, Ralph and Wilma came. They had presents for Beef, Chip, and Kippa. We can help later, said Chip. Beef and Chip had a present for Ralph and Wilma. Don't open them until tomorrow, said Beef. The magic key began to glow. It's time for a magic adventure, said Chip. I hope it's a Christmas adventure. The magic key took the children to the land of Father Christmas. Hooray, said Ralph. We can tell Father Christmas what to bring us. The children were excited. They all wanted special presents. I want a new bike, said Kippa. I want a new skateboard, said Beef. The children rang the doorbell. They rang and rang, but nobody came to the door. "That's funny," said Chip. The children looked for Father Christmas, but he was not there. There was nobody there. "Where is everyone?" asked Wilma. The children were disappointed. "It's not fair," said Chip. "I wanted to ask Father Christmas for a computer." The children looked for Father Christmas. They came to his house. "Maybe he is in here," said Kippa. The children went inside. An old man was asleep in a chair. "It's Father Christmas," said Wilf. "Why is he asleep in a chair?" Beef looked at the date. "It's the 25th of December, she said. "Father Christmas must be tired. He's been at work all night." Suddenly, Father Christmas woke up. "What are you doing in here?" he asked. "It's Christmas Day. Did I forget to call at your house?" Father Christmas hadn't put up his decorations. "I've been too busy. It's the same every year," he said. Father Christmas had no Christmas dinner. "I didn't have time," he said. "Children want so many presents." The children were sorry for Father Christmas. They found a Christmas tree and put it up. They found some decorations and put them up. "I haven't had decorations up for years," said Father Christmas. Wilma and Chip made some strawberry jam sandwiches. Father Christmas found some lemonade and some crackers. Father Christmas put on his red coat. "Ho, ho, ho," he laughed. Everyone cheered. "Thank you," said Father Christmas. "Most children just want things, but you've given me a good Christmas." Just then the key began to glow. "Happy Christmas," said everyone. "Goodbye," said Father Christmas. "Thank you for everything." The magic took the children home. It was Christmas Eve again. "What else can we do to help?" asked Chip. "No. Help to bake. Good." The end. The Stolen Crown. The Stolen Crown. The family went to see an old castle. Most of it had fallen down a long time ago. "It's just a ruin," said Chip. Kippa wanted to climb on a wall, but Dad said no. "We must look after old ruins," he said. Once upon a time, it was a big castle, said Biff. "I wonder what it was like to live here." Mom found a good spot for a picnic. Fluffy saw a rabbit hole. He began to dig in the ground. Chip saw something shiny in the dirt, so he picked it up. It's a glass bed, bed, bead, he said. I wonder who lost it, said Beef. Chip looked at the bead through his magnifying glass. Then he put it in his pocket. I don't think it's valuable, he said. Later, Chip came into Beef's room. He had a book about castles. Suddenly, the magic key began to glow. The magic took Beef and Chip back in time. It took them to the castle. So some people were waiting outside the big door. An important man came up. I am Lord Kent, said the man. Where is your present for the prince? Beef and Chip didn't have a present. Think of something, Chip, said Beef. We have a magic glass, said Big Chip. It makes small things look big. That is a good present, said Lord Kent. The prince will like it. Put it in the cushion, then wait outside in the line. At last, Beef and Chip went into a hole. That was quick thinking, Chip, said Beef. I wonder who this prince is. He must be important, said Chip. The prince was sitting on a throne. Chip gave him the magnifying glass. I like that, said the prince. The prince jumped off the throne and looked through the magnifying glass. Tomorrow is an important day, he said. Tomorrow I will be the king. Ooh. You can call me Henry, but tomorrow I will be King Henry, he said. Come with me. He ran out of the hole. Henry ran up some stairs. Come and see my crown, he said. I want to look at it through this magic glass. Two guards looked at Beef and Chip. We are here to see that the crown is not stolen, said the soldier. Hold your arms up. We must search you. Henry took Beef and Chip into a small room in a tower. Beef and Chip gasped when they saw the crown. It looks very, very valuable, said Chip. If it was stolen, I could not become king, said Henry. But it is safe in this tower. Nobody can take it from here. Henry took Beef and Chip to see his horse. I shall ride him when I become king tomorrow, he said. Suddenly, they heard shouting. Lord Kent ran up to Henry. Come quickly, he shouted. Your crown has been stolen. Henry ran back up the stairs to the crown room. The guards were still outside the door. The crown is missing, said the guard. How can it be missing? Asked Henry. We don't know, said the guard. Nobody has been here except you. I know who stole it, said Lord Kent. These children have stolen it, Lord Kent went on. They use magic to do it. Throw them in a prison at once. Oh, said Beef. Now we are in trouble. The end. Till the next book. Part 2. This is part 1. Kippa and the Giant. Kippa was watching television. He was watching a program called The Angry Giant. He liked the program. The angry giant lived in a castle near a village. Nobody in the village liked the giant. He was always cross. Nobody likes people who are always cross. When the giant was cross, he stomped his feet and the houses shook. Oh no, everyone said. He is cross again. He is always cross. Keeper went to find Chip, but he was out. He picked up the magic key and it began to glow. Oh, said Keeper. He ran to get Beef, but she was out with Chip. The magic began to work. It took Keeper inside the magic house. The magic took Keeper to the gate of the giant's castle. Keeper was frightened. He saw a signpost. It pointed to the village. He didn't want to meet the giant, so he went to the village. Keeper came to the village, but it was tiny. Keeper was a giant. Oh no, said Keeper. Go away, yelled the people. We don't want you. We've got one giant. We don't want another one. The people threw things at Keeper. Go away, they yelled. We don't want another giant. We don't want you. Stop it, shouted Keeper. I'm not a giant, I'm a boy. The people said, well, you look like a giant. Keeper began to cry. I'm not a giant, he said. I'm a little boy and I don't like this adventure. Giants don't cry, said the people. Perhaps he is a little boy, but he looks like a giant to us. Perhaps he can help us. Keeper helped the villagers to mend their houses. He put back the broken roofs. Good old Keeper, everyone said. The giant threw this big stone at us, said the people. We don't want it here. Can you put it outside the village? Yes, said Keeper. I'll try. He picked up the stone and took it outside the village. Good old Keeper, everyone called. All the people liked Keeper. Thank you, they said. You have helped us a lot. The village band played for him. The giant came back. He was very angry when he saw Keeper in the village. I'm the giant here, he shouted. He ran towards the village. Crash! He fell over the stone. Ouch! He yelled. Oh no. The people were frightened, but Keeper went to help the giant. He picked up the giant's things and put a bandage around his head. Keeper was bigger than the giant. Be a good giant, said Keeper. Stop being angry, and the people will like you. So the giant stopped being angry. I'll try to be good, he said. Hooray! Shouted the people. Let's have a party. The key began to glow. It's time for me to go now, said Keeper. Goodbye, thank you for the party. The magic took Keeper home. Nobody likes an angry giant, said Keeper. What an adventure! The end. Robin Hood. Beef and Wilma went to the pantomime. They went with Wilma's mom. They had a friend called Anina. Anina went to the pantomime with them. Theater. The pantomime was about Robin Hood. Robin Hood was a good man. He lived in a wood with his men. Everyone liked Robin Hood and they gave a cheer every time he came in. Good. Everybody likes good people. There was a bad man called the sheriff. Nobody liked the sheriff. He wanted to catch Robin Hood and lock him up. Look out, Robin, shouted the children. The next day, Wilma and Anina went to play with Beef. They sang a song about Robin Hood. Wilma played her guitar and Anina played her recorder. Kippa didn't like the song. He put his hands over his ears and made a face. "Oh," said Kippa. Kippa had a key round his neck. It was the magic key. But Beef was cross with Kippa. "Put the key back in the box," she said. Suddenly, the key began to glow. "Look out, Anina," said Beef. "This is a magic key, and the magic is working. It's time for an adventure." The magic took the children to a wood. It was the wood where Robin Hood lived. The children could see Robin with some of his men. Robin Hood had not seen the children. Anina was frightened. "I hope he is a good man," she said. "Come on," said Kippa. "I can smell food." Robin Hood saw the children. "Who are you?" he asked. "Are you lost in the woods? Come and sit down." The children sat by the fire. "We saw you in a play," said Anina. "We can sing a song about you." "Oh no," said Kippa. "Not the song again." Funny Kippa. Beef, Wilma, and Anina sang the song. The song said everyone liked Robin, but nobody liked the sheriff. Robin Hood's men gave a cheer. "What a good song," said Robin Hood. "Sing it to me again." Kippa looked inside a big black pot. Nobody saw the sheriff coming. Suddenly, the sheriff's men ran in. They grabbed Robin Hood and put a rope around him. "Got you at last," said the sheriff. "Oh no." They jumped on Robin's men and they grabbed Beef, Wilma, and Anina. They put them all into a cart. "Take them away," said the sheriff. Kippa hid in the big black pot. The sheriff's men didn't see him. "Oh no," he said. "What can I do? I must help them." "Oh, Kippa is in the pot." There, and Kippa is in the pot. The sheriff took them to a village. He said, "My castle is too far away, so we will stop here. One of my men will see you. Don't get away." Kippa went up to the man. He gave the man a sweet. "What is that thing?" he asked. "You lock people up in it," said the man. You can't lock people in that, said Kipper. You can't get them in. Oh, yes, you can, said the man. Look, he put in his head and his hands. Huh? Said Kipper. You fell for it. He locked the man in and took away his keys. Grrr, said the man. He was locked. Kipper set them free. Come on, everyone, said Robin Hood. Let's go back to the woods. We don't want the sheriff to catch us. They went to a new part of the woods. 3 cheers for Kipper, said Robin Hood. Now let's sing that song about me again. Oh no, said Kipper. Suddenly, the magic key began to glow. Just in time, said Kipper. It's time for us to go. Goodbye, said the children. Goodbye, said Robin Hood. And thanks. What an adventure, said Anana. I like Robin Hood and his men. Let's sing the song. Ah, said Kipper. Look at Kipper. Even though he didn't like. Damn. In the garden. George, Peppa Pig. This is Peppa. This is her brother George. Peppa and George. This is Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig. Grandpa, Granny. Peppa, George, and Grandpa Pig are in the garden. Grandpa Pig gives Peppa a lettuce. What is that? Said Peppa. It is a snail, says Grandpa Pig. George likes the snail. Where is the snail now? Grandpa, says Peppa. It is in its shell, says Grandpa Pig. The shell is the snail's house. George likes the snail's shell. Peppa likes it too. Can we be snails in our houses? Says Peppa. Peppa and George's friends come to the garden. Buzz, buzz, buzz. What is that? They say. They are bees, says Grandpa Pig. What are they doing? Says Peppa. They are making honey, says Grandpa Pig. I like honey, says Peppa. Let's be bees, says the friends. Buzz, 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 they say. Granny Pig is in the garden. She gives Peppa and her friends some honey on bread. I like bees, says Peppa. We like bees too, says Peppa's friends. We like eating their honey. It's great. Damn, so short story. Angry Birds, the red and the great fling off. Red couldn't sleep. He was too excited. The next day, the next day was the day of the great fling off on Piggy Island. Last year, Chuck had been the winner, but this year, thought Red, it's my turn. The fling off was the birds' big competition. They took turns to fling themselves as far as they could with the slingshot. The one who went farthest was the winner. Had practiced his fling over and over again. But what if Chuck has practiced more? Thought Red. Chuck loved competitions. He loved all the training and practicing. He loved to come first too. Perhaps I should do some more training right now, thought Red. Red made his way quietly to the slingshot, but Chuck had got there first. Just like Red, Chuck was too excited to sleep. Just like Red, he had got up in the night to do some more training. Oh, great, said Chuck. Now we can train together. Red didn't want to help Chuck train. He wanted to be the fling off winner this year, but he couldn't see a way out. Let's start with speed training, said Chuck. I'll race you to the top of the mountain. Go! The race was very close. Chuck just made it to the mountain top first. Red was going so fast he went too far. By now, Red was a very angry bird. Right, he said to Chuck. Let's see how low you can swim. See that big rock out there? The first one to swim there and back is the winner. The race was close again, but this time, Red came first. Chuck didn't like that. We should test our strength next, he said. So the two birds had another competition. The sun came up over Piggy Island. It was a new day, the day of the great fling-off. The excited birds made their way to the slingshot in time for the start of the competition. But where? Where were Red and Chuck? Sleeping, too tired. Red and Chuck were not far away, fast asleep. They had been up all night training together for the fling-off. And now that the big day was here at last, they were tired out. That's it. Oh, Chuck woke up. Get up, Red, he said. The fling-off must be about to start. They set off for the slingshot at top speed. But on the way, Red saw something. Look, he said quietly. Over there, pigs. Corporal Peg and 3 other pigs were sneaking away from the birds' home. They had something with them, something that made Red and Chuck very angry. They are sneaking away with our nest, said Red. And the egg, said Chuck. Oh my. Red and Chuck were about to go after the pigs when they heard a noise. It was the noise that marked the start of the fling-off. Chuck and Red looked at one another. They were about to miss the competition. It's no good, said Red. We must get the eggs back. The other birds were all at the fling-off. Only Chuck and Red could save the nests. Let's get Old Helmet Head first, said Chuck. They set off after Corporal Peg. Corporal Peg made it as far as the mountain. He raced up it as fast as he could, but Chuck and Red were much faster. They soon had the nest back. Now for the eggs, said Red. The first minion pig thought he could float away, but Red thought not. He could swim much faster than a pig could float. He soon had the first egg back. Only two more to go, he said to Chuck as he put it in the nests. Chuck didn't use speed to catch the next minion pig. He used his strength and a very big rock. Soon there were two eggs back in the nest. Just one more to save, said Red with a smile. Red and Chuck were tired from training all night, but they were not about to let the last pig get away with their egg. Together, they used the last of their speed and strength to catch him. Red and Chuck were both very glad the nest was full again, but sad they had missed the fling off. Perhaps one of us will be the winner next year, said Chuck. Yes, said Red. But which one? Don't start that again, said Matilda. The other birds had come racing over to see Red and Chuck. They were all smiling. We saw how you saved the eggs just now, said Matilda, and that makes you both winners. The end.